Hi, I'm Nathan, and I got feelings I want to talk about. That's what we're gonna go with this. Let's start there. Honestly, last 2 weeks have been awful. Just an update. I haven't been posting videos. Obviously, you wouldn't know. You're not watching the channel, but that's the point. Honestly, I just been feeling down, awful in the dumps. And last week, I read this manga called Boys Abyss, and I cried, which is rare for me. I don't cry that often. Not the flux or anything, you know what I'm saying? Emotionally unstable, gang. You know what it is. Honestly, I don't get it. I know why I cried, but I'm gonna explain it to you. It sucks. It sucks a lot. The last 2 weeks have been awful for me. These two teeth aren't real. They're temporary crowns because they got literally broken off down to the nerve. Also, last week somebody backed into the car and the entire door is gone, so I can't commute to campus. I'm gonna take a ride Friday to campus with my friend. It's wild. Besides that, I've been struggling in school because I've been so sad recently, and I've been losing motivation. Not really a valid reason to be not doing so well in school, but yeah. And all of these things have kind of added into a weight that's been on top of me for a minute. Last 2 weeks. I think it's really easy to lose track of time when you're depressed, so I'm just kind of keep reminding myself that it's only been 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks isn't that much time in the larger scheme of things. I've been super sad, but it's been 2 weeks. The 2 weeks has felt like it's been a long time, but you just gotta keep reminding yourself, because I swear, you get in a different mind space when you're sad. Time starts moving slow, things start moving fast, everything is just a timely, wimely, wibbly, bobbly ball of stress and anxiety. But we're making it through. I got a video I'm making right now with you. And I think Boys Abyss was a big part of me coming out of this, because it made me kind of have to actually release my feelings, because I was crying because I empathized with the character in Boys Abyss. If you haven't read Boys Abyss, it's a story about a character who's generally depressed, who's definitely depressed, and dealing with a lot of anxiety when he's confronted in his small town by his favorite idol. And he goes on a date with his favorite idol, and this idol asks him if he wants to commit suicide with her. A lover suicide. And at first he thinks he's joking, and as the story progresses, he starts to question whether he actually wants to live or not, and whether the life he's living is actually meaningful or worth anything as it is right now, and whether he'll actually accomplish anything worthwhile. And a lot of the story just has to do with his self-worth and the self-worth of the people around him, and about his abyss. While it's a lot to deal with, it's a lot to read on first going, the story does a good job of not just tackling his abyss, but the people around him, right? And it kind of addresses... I'm just collecting my thoughts for a minute, but when I say his abyss, it's not just an emptiness in him, which I think that's what a lot of people think about when they think about an abyss, right? An abyss is like a hole in you that needs to be filled, which, I mean, can also be the case. But I think in this story, when they're talking about the boy's abyss, I think it refers to a well, right? Where you kind of toss away all of the negative emotions and feelings that are pent up inside of you. You just kind of throw them down that well, right? They just keep going further and further down, and they just kind of stack up until they overflow out of you. And whenever the overflow happens for a character in Boys Abyss, it's always represented in maybe a 2-page spread or a singular page of just 2 characters. One character who's receiving the abyss, and the other character who's expositing their abyss. And it's in this abyss where we find a lot of the things that... Some things have a lot more weight than others, obviously. But then there are some things like, I don't know how they're gonna treat me. I don't know how they're gonna react when they see me. I don't know what they're gonna do when they catch me lacking. And sometimes it's like, I feel like I'm gonna die. Like, the weight between each word bubble is different, but the feelings are very different. The feelings are all a hodgepodge of all of these negative emotions that have driven this character into the corner. Because once those things start bursting out of the well is empty. The only thing left is for you to fall down it. And that's where the abyss comes in. Because we throw all of our feelings and thoughts and frustrations down into this well, And as soon as they all come bubbling out of us, it feels like we're tumbling down it. And it's awful. It's an awful feeling, right? Because you can hold in a lot, but it only takes one incident, one action to make everything come out of you, to make all of those feelings burst out of you. And then you're just sad. You're just engulfed in all of these feelings. And in that moment, it's an awful feeling. You make some of your worst decisions in that moment. And Boys Abyss kind of shows you a different range of abysses, a different range of feelings, and a different range of things bubbling out of people, and what different people do when those things come spurting out of their abyss or their well. The girl on screen right now is my favorite character in this, and I kind of identify with her abyss the most, her moments and her time on the panels. As a character, I love her, but also as a person, I love her. She's a wonderful human being. She's like the ray of sunshine in the story. She's a beautiful human being inside and out. But even she gets swallowed up at times. And when her dreams kind of get thrown to the wayside and she has to find a way on her own, honestly, seeing her go in and out of that well and try to climb out of her frustration and her feelings made me cry. It brought me to tears. Because in all honesty, I feel like I've been there, where I've got this plan that I want to execute. And then I talk to my parents about it. And it feels like their expectations are the only things that were ever to be considered, right? What I wanted was never a factor. What I wanted wasn't even a thought. I might have been like, yo, I wanted to go to college out of state. I wanted to go do this, that, and the third. And then I asked them, and they're like, no, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do this. And like, it's fine. It's all fine until I bring up my ambitions. I can go out and I can go accomplish things that are great. Everyone is like, yo, you're doing good, kid. My parents are constantly like, you're doing good, kid. You're stay on that right path. Stay on that right path. And it's like, I want to go on my own path. I want to do what I want. I want to pave my own road because this is my life. And then I'm being told what I can do, but they're still taking credit, and they're still taking credit for my accomplishments to other people when it's convenient for them. But if it's not convenient for them, if things are bad for them, then there's a problem. Then what I'm doing is a problem. Even if it's the same thing I was doing before, right? And I kind of identified with that. And like the characters in the story, for me at least, the last 2 weeks kind of bubbled all of those feelings out of me, but the spark plug wasn't related to the things that were inside of me. It was just a thing that happened. Bad things were happening to me. Things that I felt like I felt targeted, even though I wasn't. Like, you can't control that somebody backs into you, and I can't control that somebody, like, I was hoping somebody elbow me in the teeth, come off. You can't control that. It happens to the best of us. I can't do anything about it. It happens. But those things kind of just sent me down this spiral of awful feelings that I know are negative, but I was just there for a long time. And I know it's hard to like get those feelings out, but I had to. And I'm here now. I think I'm done now. I just wanted to let anybody know that I'm gonna be making videos again. Nobody watches these, but I'm gonna get back to it. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. If you really got this far, actually subscribe, deadass. And I love you. Have a great day.